Hello and welcome to my channel. Today is my favorite video to film every single month. Today we are filming my TBR game, Jurassic TBR. Hi guys, I'm Teresa and today we're filming my TBR video. I'm really excited. I am filming this late. I ended up having a ton of stuff go down in July that really put me just way behind schedule. So we're just gonna pretend that never happened and move forward. We are now in August and I'm just getting the TBR set, but better late than never. So if you've never seen a Jurassic TBR video, I will link up above my playlist. You guys can go watch that if you want more in-depth rules and all of that. But the basic point of the game is to start here and escape at the helipad by rolling a 6-sided dice and moving along the footprints as many spaces as the dice tells us. Pretty simple. This year I have put in a rule where I only roll 4 times, and if I don't complete the game, then I just start where I started last month and continue until I complete the game. The footprint colors, we have green, which is the Mr. TBR cards. Red is the Jurassic TBR cards. Yellow is my owned TBR, my own physical TBR. Did I say yellow or white? It's white. Yellow is fantasy and black is thriller. And the only rule is that to escape, I have to roll the exact number on the dice to get out. Otherwise, I go backwards, the amount on the dice, and then from there on, we just escape. But it all makes sense as I'm playing, hopefully. So for the month of August, we are starting a brand new board because we did escape last month in July. So that means fresh start, starting from the beginning, and we will roll 4 times and see how far I end up getting this month. So let's talk about June's TBR. This was June's TBR, as well as the book Outlaw by Ted Dekker. Spoiler alert, it's back on my shelves. I don't feel like digging it out. So you may know, yeah, I didn't get to that one. But that one was for fantasy, didn't get to it. No, I don't have any punishments or anything for my game or rewards. It's just if I play, if I win, I win. If I don't, oh well. But we had The Dry. This was for a thriller. I did read this. We had Force of Nature, which was to continue a series. I did read that, and that was a Mr. TBR card. And then I had Owned TBR, which Anatomy, a Love Story was drawn from that. And I did complete all 3 of these. So the one card that I had for the month is already in the discard pile. I forgot to dig it out. I don't want to. So yeah, we are putting Anatomy is not going back in the TBR jar, and the Continue Series card is officially discarded. So that is how June went. We are technically in August now, but normally when I film my TBR videos, I film them like a week ahead of time, and so I'm still usually in the month of the TBR. That's why I talked about June instead of July. July's TBR will be talked about in September. Even though we're technically in August, I want to keep it consistent so that I know for myself what I have and haven't talked about. Okay, so I'm trying to think if there's anything in August. There's not really anything in August that I'm thinking of. I'm not going to participate in any readathons this month. I really don't even know what is happening in the month of August, but I am a little bit burned out. I have been participating in a lot of readathons, and I just feel like I need a break. I'm not mood reading per se this month, but I am not doing any kind of competitions or any kind of goals other than this TBR, and I'm just gonna read what I feel like it outside of this TBR. I am also preparing in September, which you guys will be seeing a video very, very soon for this. In the month of September, I am bringing back my readathon that I started last year, the Cryptid Creatures Readathon. So if you are excited for that, or maybe you have no idea what I'm talking about, stay tuned. Make sure you subscribe to my channel so you don't miss it, because the announcement video will be coming very, very soon. It does take place in the month of September, so I will be doing a lot of behind the scenes work this month. So I'm just taking it easy. Hopefully the game is nice to me and I don't get a heck of a lot of books on here, or some really hard, heavy books. We'll see what happens. But I'm gonna focus on that and focus on getting the readathon going and just enjoying my last month of summer. Well, I guess technically September is still summer, but you know, when we get to September, I'm kind of ready for fall. So I'm like, I'm just going to enjoy August and everything that it throws at me. Hopefully it throws good things this month, because last month threw not some good things. Anyways, that is in the past. We are moving forward and I'm excited to play the game. So let's go ahead and head outside actually. And we're going to film the game outside because it's nice enough out. So why not? I will see you guys back here in a moment. All right, we are back with Jurassic TBR. So last game, I ended up finishing the game. So we are starting a brand new game. I have Dr. Ellie Settler here, who is going to help me escape Jurassic TBR. Let's go ahead and roll for roll number 1. 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yellow, which is fantasy. Okay, back inside to film this part because I don't feel like taking my entire setup downstairs and outside. So I rolled a 5 and I landed on fantasy. I am not too fussed about this. I really, like, there was truly nothing that I was like, I must read this month. I'm just kind of gonna go with the flow. The only thing that I was kind of hoping to do was continue reading some shark books. Last month I took place in Sharkathon, which was actually from July 26th until August 1st. And I unfortunately did not get to read as many books as I wanted to. I ended up being like 2 days behind on the readathon. And so I want to continue reading shark books and continue reading some of the books that I had planned to read. They won't count toward the readathon or the giveaway or anything, but like I still want to complete them. So I'm hoping to get some of those on my list. But looking through my list of things, I've already read the fantasy book, the one fantasy book that I had that would have counted. So I'm choosing something else instead. And for fantasy, I'm going through reading Wisteria by Adlin Grace. This is book 3 in the Belladonna trilogy. There is a novella called Holly, and I do believe it takes place after Wisteria. And it's also like a Christmas book. So I very much want to read Wisteria first so I can, because it takes place after for one. And also I want to read it around Christmas time, but to read it around Christmas time, this book needs to be read. I adore these series. Actually, I will say that Foxglove, I like Foxglove way better than I like Belladonna. So we'll see about Wisteria, whether or not this one can take the cake and beat all 3 of them, because none of them have been a 5-star. The big reason why they were not 5 stars is because there is some sexual content in there. It's like very pushing fade to black type of, it's like borderline. It's like my absolute maximum threshold that I can still really enjoy a book if it has content like that in it. That's just my personal preference. I don't like smut in my books. These ones were like fade to black. I prefer closed door. But, you know, outside of that, the books are so beautifully told. And just like, I love our characters so, so much. And book 2 ended in a way that I was like, oh, I can't wait to get to book 3. And yet it's been at least a year since I've read book 2. This has been on my TBR before, and I just haven't gotten to it yet. This is also the ridiculously gorgeous Fairy Loot edition. I need to get the Fairy Loot edition for book 2. I have book 1 and book 3 in the Fairy Loot. I don't have book 2. And everywhere I've seen people reselling it is ridiculously expensive. So if you have a copy of one that you don't want, let me know, because I'm in the market for one. And here is the naked hardback. Oh my gosh, it's just so beautiful. It's signed by the author, of course. And here is the artwork on the end pages. So in book 1, we are following, I don't remember what our main character's name is in book 1, but she is haunted by death. Everyone that she is, like, everyone that she knows and loves dies, and she goes to live with a cousin who's like the last person in her family before she can, you know, become an adult and like live on her own. There is some mysterious illnesses and stuff that are happening in this manor, and so she's trying to investigate what's going on, while also kind of understanding her powers, as she does somehow have a connection to Death himself, and her and Death kind of get it on. That is where I had a little bit of a it's not quite a 5-star because of that, but I really did. I love it so much. So Anyways, that's what the first book in the series is. Book 2, we're introduced to a new character, and book 3 is kind of following that character's story. So I'm very excited to see where this goes. Anyways, I've been talking for too long about one single book. We need to get moving because it's warm and I want to get this video out. So let's go ahead and head back downstairs outside for roll number 2. Roll number 2 is a 2. 1, 2. Green, Mr. TBR card. We have our Mr. TBR cards here. Let's go ahead and pull off the top and see what we've got. A 5-star prediction. Pretty good, I think. I rolled a 2, so not moving very far on the board. But again, it's okay because I'm only doing the 4 rolls. So I'm not too worried about how many rolls or how many moves we actually get today. But anyways, landed on a Mr. TBR card. Here is the Mr. TBR card, and it was, if I can ever get it to focus on it and not on me, it was a 5-star prediction. So I decided to pick up a book that, this is going to give you a little bit of spoiler for July's TBR, but I'm picking up When the Day Comes by Gabrielle Meyer. Yeah, this was on last month's TBR. I didn't get to it. So anyways, I still really want to read this. Like, I really, really want to read this book. It has been recommended to me personally, and it has also been just raved about in the Christian booktube community. And it also takes place during the Revolutionary War, which I love the Revolutionary War, and the last month, July, was America's 250th birthday, so like, I feel like it's super fitting. Even though I didn't read it in July, I still want to read it in the summer. You know what I mean? So anyways, I'm putting this book on here because I do think this could be a 5-star. I'm a little bit hesitant at putting it as a 5-star prediction because I've never read anything by this author before, but from everything I've heard about this, I think it might be a 5-star. So we're just gonna say it, 5-star prediction. And look it. They put the number of the series on the spine. Thank you to, who is the publisher? Who is the publisher? Bethany House. Thank you, Bethany House, for putting the gosh darn number of the series on the spine. This is book 1 in the Timeless series, and basically we're following a woman, or a series of women throughout the series. We're following different women who have basically the ability to travel to 2 separate time periods. This one takes place in 1774 as well as 1914. But I believe our main character, her name is Libby. So like, basically she falls asleep in one life, she wakes up in the other. She's the same person at her core in both times, but she's leading 2 very different lives. On her 21st birthday, she must choose one path and forfeit the other. But how can she choose when she has so much to lose in each life? I feel like this is gonna make me cry. I do. I feel like it's gonna make me cry, because how in the world are you supposed to choose what timeline you live in? Especially because, like, I know for a fact her mother is in one of the timelines and not in the other timeline. So I don't know about the rest of her family, but like, yikes, that would be a very, very hard decision to make. So like, okay. Anyways, this is a 5-star prediction. So this is what I'm putting on the TBR. Let's go for roll number 3. Roll number 3. Roll number 3 is a 3. 1, 2, 3. A yellow, which is another fantasy. All right, a 3. Once again, not moving too far on the board, so I can guarantee we're not finishing the game today. There's just way too many spaces, and I can only roll 6 spaces at a time. So we're not gonna be finishing the board today, which is fine, totally fine. But we landed on another fantasy. And I gotta say, this one was a little difficult for me because I'm like, I haven't read a fantasy in a while. I mean, I guess that's a lie, I have, but I haven't really been in the mood for fantasy. I've been reading a lot more mystery thrillers lately. So I was scrolling through Libby and I'm like, what books do I have that are due soon, right? Because I would like to get my library books read sooner than later. I was scrolling through, and I'm like, literally nothing is sticking out to me as something that I want to read for a fantasy book. There's a bunch of thrillers on there I want to read, but I'm like, all my fantasies that I have checked out, I'm like, I'm just really not in the mood for them. At least not today. I mean, I'm a massive mood reader, which is a bit of a bummer because, like, that's definitely some of the reasons why I don't finish my TBRs. But today I'm just not in the mood for anything fantasy related. So I was looking on my shelves and I was like, okay, what do I own that is fantasy that I feel like I could read in August? Because there are some books I'm like, oh, that sounds good, but I'm like, oh, I kind of feel like that's more like a September or October book. I really want to look for like an August book. And the book that I finally landed on and I'm choosing to read for fantasy is Ariadne by Jennifer Saint. This is actually the oldest book of the month book that I have on my TBR. This was from May of 2021. So I got it then and I still haven't read it. So I was like, well, it's not the oldest book on my TBR or the longest book on my TBR, but it's the longest and oldest book of the month book on my TBR. And it is a fantasy. It's like a Greek mythology, that's the word. But it's a Greek retelling of Ariadne. It's a sister, lover, traitor, hero. I don't remember much. I took Greek mythology in middle school. It was actually part of our English curriculum that we had to take Greek mythology, which is weird that it was with that class and not like history or something. But honestly, I loved it. I was obsessed. But it's been a long, long time since I have dabbled in anything regarding Greek mythology as far as like the actual people. Like I've read some like modern day retellings, but I haven't read anything that's like the original myths or ancient retellings, right? So I am excited for this. This feels like a summer book. Like even like the cover and stuff is giving me like summery vibes. So in like August, it's gosh darn hot here. And for whatever reason, I just feel like this is the book that I need to read in August. So I'm gonna get to it. And Ariadne, I don't know how I'm pronouncing that. She is a princess of Crete. This deals with Theseus, the prince of Athens. Oh, yes. She's the one from the Minotaur. That's right. Okay. So her story involves the Minotaur. I believe that she's the princess who is either captured by the Minotaur or someone has to I can't remember if she's captured by the Minotaur or she's just like in with the Minotaur and someone has to like slay the Minotaur in the labyrinth in order to win her hand in marriage. I can't quite remember. Hopefully this will help me to remember the story. But yes, I'm very excited for this. Greek mythology seems like a good summertime. I don't know why, I just feel like it is. So this is what I'm going to be picking up for fantasy. Thankfully, I had a book that I'm excited for because like Wisteria was difficult to find, and then I'm like, another fantasy? Come on. So anyways, that's what I'm reading for that. Let's go ahead and head back outside for the very last roll of the game.
And our most likely final roll of the game is a 1, definitely our final roll. And a 1 is 1 red footprint, which is a Jurassic TBR card. So let's get the top one of the Jurassic TBR and see what we have. Ember, read a book featuring nature. But we have slash marks, which means I have to read 2 books for this 1 prompt. There you have it, guys. That is the end of this month's Jurassic TBR. Next month, we will be starting right here and continuing forward to try and escape Jurassic TBR.
Well, didn't go very far. I only moved 1 space. Excitingly though, I did get another card. I didn't get an own TBR, which I'm kind of bummed about because like I really love picking out my own TBR jar, but I am reading at least 2 books from my own TBR, so I'm not terribly concerned about that. Anyways, I drew a Jurassic TBR card, and it is Amber. Read a book featuring nature. And my finger was covering up, but I don't know if you guys can see if my camera will ever focus. But down here in the corner, we have these little like slashy marks, like raptor claw slash marks, which means I have to read 2 books for this 1 prompt. So thankfully this came up while I was doing this short round where I only roll 4 instead of trying to complete the entire game every month. So I'm not too upset about it, but it's still like, ugh, another book I have to put on my TBR. So I have to read 2 books that feature nature, and the way that I'm interpreting this, like the way that I meant to interpret this card is it can either be a nonfiction book about nature or it can be a fiction book that has a strong nature element to it, like an eco-fiction type of story or a nature horror or, you know, something along those lines. So this actually, though, works out perfectly because remember when I was saying that I wanted to read some of the books from Shark Week or Sharkathon that I didn't get to read, well, here's my chance. So, book one that I'm choosing for this is Shark, and this is by Paul D. Gelder. This, the little subtitle is Why We Need to Save the World's Most Misunderstood Predator. I am very, very excited to get to this. I don't think I actually talked about this in my TBR video for my Sharkathon TBR because it was already long and I needed to like hurry and get through it. This was not on the official TBR, but it was one I definitely wanted to get to because it's about sharks. And it's written by Paul D. Gelder. If you guys don't know who Paul D. Gelder is, that is him there. He is a former elite soldier and shark attack survivor. So he was basically Australia's version of the Navy SEALs. I don't know what they call themselves, but think Navy SEAL. He was doing a training exercise, I believe in a river, and got attacked by a bull shark, which took one of his arms and one of his legs. Since, he survived, he has become obsessed with protecting these magnificent animals, which is actually really interesting because I do find that majority of people who are bitten by a shark, like survive a shark attack, actually like go on to say, I was in the wrong, I was in their home, they didn't do anything wrong. Not everyone, but most people who have been bitten by a shark will say that like, yeah, my bad. Sharks are just doing what sharks do. Anyways, he has kind of made it his mission to be a shark advocate, and he is on a lot of the Shark Week shows, which I love him. I think he's great. I love his insights and just the stuff that he brings on the shows that he's been on has been really fun. So anyways, it says, from shark attack survivor to shark's biggest advocate, Paul D. Gelder tells us just why these magnificent, diverse animals need us as much as we need them. Nonfiction, of course. Yes, there are photos in here, which is exciting. I always love when nonfiction have photos. So you can kind of see in this picture down here that he's missing part of his arm, his leg. But that does not stop him from getting back in the water. Well, anyways, this is what I'm going to be reading for book number one. Book involving nature. Animals are nature. So, sharks. The other one I'm going to be reading, which might be a little bit of a stretch, but I'm still going to count it. My game, my rules. The other one I'm going to be reading is Crocs by Randy Wayne Wright. White. If you want to say right with an R, but it's white, like the color with a W. Anyways, this is Crocs. This is book 3 in the Sharks Incorporated series. I did talk about this book in my TBR. This I was supposed to read for an audiobook and just ran out of time, quite frankly. So I still want to get this read. And this is involving nature because in this book, we're following our main characters who are the 3 kids who make up Sharks Incorporated. They are in Florida, this book, and they are trying to find a wild orange tree that survived a disease currently destroying Florida's citrus. So that is nature, right? They're working with local diseases of their citrus trees, and they also come across a 700-pound crocodile. Now, in my Sharkathon video, I did say that we do have American crocodiles, which is true. We do have American crocodiles. This is not going to be focusing on American crocodiles. It's a saltwater crocodile, which are from Australia. They don't live in the US. So someone obviously brought it here. Basically, the area where this survivor tree is guarded by this crocodile. So they're going to have to figure out how to get around the croc. And there's like a reclusive fishing captain who claims that whole area is his property and like doesn't want anybody around. So there's going to be quite a bit of turmoil, I think, for our characters in this book, but I'm very, very excited to continue in this series. So because it features citrus trees helping the nature, and it also features crocodiles, which are animals, which are nature, I'm going to count it for this book. All right, so here is the TBR. Here are the 5 books that I will be reading for the month of July, or at least that I will, not July, August, that I will try and read for August. The 5 books that are on my TBR, we have Wisteria for fantasy, When the Time Comes for a 5-Star Prediction, Ariadne for fantasy, Sharks for a book about nature, or featuring nature, and Crocs for a book featuring nature. Crocs is in middle grade. I don't know if I said that. The rest of these okay, so Wisteria is young adult, When the Day Comes and Irony are adult, Sharks is nonfiction, and Crocs is a middle grade. So a little bit of a mix on here, which I am pleased about that. No thrillers on the month, or this month, but I don't know. Maybe I'll throw some in for the heck of it. We'll just see what this month brings me. But that is the official TBR. These are the books that I will officially be working towards reading in the month of August. Thank you so much for hanging out with me today. Don't forget to give this a thumbs up if you like this video. Let me know down in the comments below if you've read any of these books, if any of these sound interesting to you. Do you enjoy sharks? Are you a shark fan? We just had Shark Week. I don't know. Are you scared of sharks? Do you love sharks? Are you not indifferent about sharks? Let me know in the comments down below. And if you have nothing else to say, or nothing to say really, and just want to let me know you were here, help me out with the algorithm and all of that good stuff, you can leave me a flower comment or emoji for Wisteria. Any kind of flower will work. I don't know if they have a Wisteria emoji, but a flower will work. Leave that down in the comments below if you have nothing else to say to me. That's all that I have for you today, guys. Don't forget, like, subscribe, do the YouTubey things, and I will hopefully see you in my next video. Bye!